Hey, welcome to video number 7, and we're going to talk about how to set up your autoresponder. So once you have chosen your autoresponder service, you've written your autoresponder series, and you got your landing page creator in hand that you want to use, it's time to focus on setting things up. So with that said, in this particular video, I am going to discuss in particular how to set up your list, how to set up your autoresponder series, how to set up your web form, and how to utilize the broadcasting system. So I'm going to explain in detail. You're going to watch me step by step, show you everything. And in this particular video, I am going to be using the GetResponse autoresponder system. And the reason why I like GetResponse is simply because I feel like it's pretty lenient as far as most autoresponder systems go, as I discussed in the recommended autoresponder services video. All right, so let's go over there and let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to be using GetResponse in this case because it's only $15 per month, and it's actually really good because it provides you with landing pages that you can actually use. So instead of having to buy an autoresponder system and then buy a lead capture system, you save a lot of money. So instead of spending, a couple $100 today, you're actually spending only $15. So that's why we're going to be using GetResponse. All right. Now, if you get access to GetResponse, this is what you're going to see on the inside. You're going to click dashboard and you're going to be able to see what's happening within your lists. You can have several lists, and under contacts, you can actually search for lists. You can add contacts. You can import contacts. Just keep in mind with GetResponse, they are very strict with the contacts that you import, so they will verify that. And if there's any red flags or anything like that, they will let you know. But for the most part, I'm assuming that you're trying to build a list from scratch, so we're not really going to talk about that. So really what it comes down to is you're going to be spending most of your time within the messages section. So newsletters are basically the broadcasting system. And then you have autoresponder systems, which you can create and manage them here. And autoresponders, as we discussed, gives you the ability to, let's say, for example, write 5 emails, and you can set it so that they receive the email, 5 emails every day. So 5 days, 5 emails, or every other day. So it's like spread out to 10 days for 5 emails, or you can spread it out depending on how you want to do it. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Those are what we call autoresponders. And then the newsletters are based on the broadcasting system, as I said earlier. Newsletters, basically, when you send these out to your list, you basically send it to everybody. So it doesn't matter if subscriber A signs up today and subscriber 2 or subscriber B signs up 5 days later. If you send out a newsletter based on the broadcasting system, let's say 3 weeks later, then both subscribers are going to receive it at the same time that you send it out. So that's basically the major differences between autoresponders and newsletters. Now, on different systems, you will see autoresponders typically, but you'll see anything from broadcasts or newsletters. All right. So there's always 2 different scenarios that you can take. And of course, you have statistics, surveys, landing pages. So we'll talk more about that later. Now, as far as creating a list, super easy to do. All you have to do is go to the right, and then you're going to click this drop down menu here, and then you're going to click on Create Campaign. All right. So you have 2 different opportunities and options here. You can either create a brand new name with brand new campaign settings, or if you've created a previous campaign and you like how you set it up earlier and you don't feel like changing those settings, you can simply copy campaign settings here. You can go through, pick and choose the campaign that you want, and then you can just enter the campaign. So I'm just going to call this test list list building test 1. And I'm going to go ahead and create campaign, and just takes a couple of seconds. And after that, it says, okay, you have the opportunity to edit campaign settings, create autoresponder, or create newsletter. Now, because I don't have anybody right now on my list, I'm not too worried about these two. I'm just concerned about these two right here. So first things first, normally I edit the campaign settings. So I'm going to open this in a new window, and then I'm going to open this here. So if we go to the campaign preferences here, you can see that here is the campaign name. So you want to make sure that you name it something that you're familiar with and you will know what it is. You can choose the English, the language, based on what language you want to choose. And normally, typically, I leave this one, and this one checked. Then you can click on Profile, and then you can name the campaign title in full words, the category, the campaign description, the logo, and the RSS feed. You can also specify the confirmation pages, the unsubscribe page, and more. Now, these typically you don't have to worry about right now. That basically means if somebody unsubscribes, they are sent to this particular page. So this can give you the opportunity to either reconnect with them if they unsubscribed and say, hey, I'm sorry to see you go, but maybe you're interested in this. Or I'm sorry to see you go, but here's something that I want to give you. Confirmation page is basically the page people see after they sign up. So after they fill in their name and email address in the opt-in form, where do you want to send them? That's the confirmation page. So you could either send them directly to your thank you page that contains your freebie, your free report, your free ebook, or your free video, or you can just say, check your inbox and get them to do that. Because another thing is there are two different ways of getting people to actually be added to your list. Number one, there is what we call single opt-in. And then secondly, we have double opt-in. Now, single opt-in basically means that if somebody fills in their name and email address in the web form, they will be automatically added to your list. Now, keep in mind, by doing that, you run the risk of people entering fake email addresses or even those 10-minute mail addresses that self-destruct. And then you actually are emailing either emails that are non-existent or spam traps, which can actually be detrimental to your list deliverability rates. Now, at the same time, you have the second option, which is called double opt-in. So if I click on permission here, you can see that it says enable confirmed opt-in. Confirmed opt-in is the same as double opt-in. So if you see that wordage differently elsewhere, it's the same thing. What it means is that somebody fills in their name and email address, but they are not added to the list. They are only added to the list once they are sent the email. So they're sent an email that says, is this really your email? And then they'll click that link, and then they are added to your list. Now, this is a lot better as far as keeping your deliverability rates higher, and at the same time, making sure that you get people who really are serious about signing up. Now, at the same time, I've tested single opt-in only to find out that most people will not double opt-in. Now, if you double opt-in, the majority of times your list conversions will actually increase. You'll get less people actually confirming, but you'll actually get those people highly engaged, right? So if you think about 1,000 people come to a landing page, if you have single opt-in and let's say you have 50% conversions, that's 500 people opting in. Now, if you do confirmed opt-in, out of those 500, maybe only 300 people actually confirm that that's their real email address. Now, those 300 people versus the 500 people, the 300 people are more likely to be engaged because they already took little what we call mini transactions, and basically they click the link, they are interacting with your content. So the fact that they interacted with your opt-in form and with your content, that typically means that they are more likely convert into sales later down the road. All right. So if you want to enable that, you can click this right here, email subscriptions, API subscriptions. That also means that if you're using something like lead pages, then when you connect through the API and somebody connects through there, it'll actually do a double opt-in. So I would do this if you're doing like HTML code, but if you're using something like lead pages that connects automatically to your autoresponder via API, you want to check these too. So I would probably check all of these three if you wanted to do double confirmed opt-in. All right. Now, if you choose to do double confirmation, you will have to edit the confirmation message, which is the message that they will receive after they sign up. So you choose the from field, you choose the message subject, and you can also customize this and customize the email. Just keep in mind that somebody will actually have to approve of that. So that can take anywhere from a couple hours to about 24 hours. Now here you can change the confirmation page, which you can basically say, use the one that's hosted by GetResponse, which will say, check your inbox. Or you can send them to a specific URL, either the URL with the content on it that you have, offered for free, or you can send them to a different URL. So that just gives you the ability to send them to wherever that you want. So now that you have edited your settings, now it's time to create an autoresponder. So if you go under messages, click create autoresponder. This is how I was able to get here. Now, as you can see here, GetResponse offers many, many different scenarios of autoresponders. You have time-based autoresponders, which is what we were talking about earlier. You have ones based on clicks. So if somebody interacts with your content, you can actually do a lot of really cool stuff. Or open your email or subscribed, or maybe you reached a specific goal. However, I am only going to focus on the time-based one because the majority of lead capture and autoresponder systems will focus purely on the time-based autoresponder structure. All right, so when you create this, it says on day 0, which basically means immediately. You select the list right here. You can say, I want to send this message immediately or in delay of, or I only want to send it during the weekday. Now, to be honest, I would send it immediately. All right. I would select all of these here. And the reason why they have the ability to select the days is because, let's say, for example, that you are a local business or you are a consulting or service-based business and you only offer, actual messages or support on Monday through Friday. So if you want to make it feel like, oh, okay, all the messages are really personal, they're only during the weekdays, you could choose that. Now, obviously, the next step is to click create new email. The next thing you want to do is enter the subject line. The message name will appear here, and this will be not seen by your subscribers, but only seen by you so that you know exactly what this email is all about. So typically what I'll do is I'll do something like welcome or thanks for signing up. Or you can say download your free. No, I try to avoid using free, honestly, because free is a spam word. So download your report here. You can say, thanks for signing up. Download report here. Now, keep in mind that if somebody's using a phone, they're only typically going to see like this much here. So these words in the beginning are crucial. All right. So you could even say download report here. So next thing we do is click next step. After that, the next thing it wants you to do is choose a template. So this is not the same thing as your opt-in lead capture form. This is the template that will be emailed to your subscriber. So typically what I do is I don't really use these because a lot of these images will actually be blocked out via most people's HTML-based email system. So what I typically stick with is HTML code or plain text. So I'm going to use plain text here. And typically what you want to do is say, thanks for signing up on my email newsletter about blah. You can download your report here. And then of course, add the link to your report. So the first things first, obviously give and deliver what you promised, your name, and that's it. So that would be your first email, and you can click next step, and we're going to save and publish. And the next thing, you're going to be able to see what I've been talking about here. So we have created the first email. We know that when somebody signs up on this specific autoresponder series, they will receive this email here immediately. Now, one means that they're going to receive it the day after this one here. 2 means they're going to receive it 2 days after this particular email here. So if you wanted to do it every day, you would do the same thing. You would click here, you would create email, go through the same process that I showed you earlier, and then to create the email. Same here, same here, same here. So as you can see, you don't have to do it every day. You could do it every other day, or you could do this one here, this one here, this one here, and then this one here, here, here. So it doesn't have to be every other day, every day, or a consistent span of days either. You can choose your own frequency, and you can actually add more days. So there's 47 days, but you can literally add as many days as you want. And most of these you can add pretty much unlimited days. So you could have emails going, and you could basically make sure that you set them up early so that once everything is set up, you're pretty much good to go. Now, after that, of course, it depends on what system that you use. So if you use GetResponse to set up your landing page, then obviously you're not going to need a web form or lead pages. But if you're using something like, Landing Page Monkey or the majority of systems out there, you'll need to go under Forms and click Create Form. And of course, that's with the assumption that you've already gone through the process just now that I showed you of creating a list, autoresponder, and more. Now, there are several different options here. So you can see you got List Builder Wizard, which allows you to create your own web form. You can pretty much pick and choose from tons and tons and tons of different web forms here. Or you can use List Builder Apps, which this is not something that you're really going to have to use. And then, of course, you have plain HTML. Now, what I recommend that you do is just go ahead, play around with this, set it up, and just click Use Template when you're ready. And then basically it's processing your template, and you can customize this. Now, one thing that I find that helps is instead of saying sign up for our newsletter, I would say sign up to get this free video. Because in the top, I'm hoping that on the landing page, I'm going to add something related to the video or free report. And then sometimes you can accept the email and the first name, but you don't have to. It's not required. You don't have to do that. Sometimes I'll only do the email address because I feel like I actually get more opt-ins just with this alone without the first name. But keep in mind that if you accept the first name or the last name, you can actually put their name inside of the email. So if they receive the email, you can say, hey, John, or hey, Bob, blah, 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 and customize your email. If you only accept the email, you can't do that. You can't customize the email. So once that's done, we're going to click on Save and Publish, and then you can get the JavaScript code. Now, in most cases, you're going to have to use the HTML code. So if they require you to have the HTML code, you'd simply go to HTML, plain HTML, and then you would simply grab this code right here. And that's it. So that's pretty much it as far as setting everything up as far as the autoresponder system goes. And we're going to talk about the landing page in the next video.